Before I even leave Brazil, I was telling my friends, I want to go US. I want to have a backyard ramp. I want to have my own garden. I want to grow my own food, and you know, it's always people laughing at you. And I took that as a challenge, you know. So here I am. All right, my name is Evandro André Costa de Menezes, and my nickname is Mancha. I grew up in Minas Gerais, Brazil. I grew up starting skating street, and I had this skate park nearby my house, super bumpy, like transitions not that good. And I went there with a friend of mine, and he introduced me to transitions, and I got hooked there, and I'm like, man, I want to skateboard, which is now what I do the most, I think, later in life, is skateboard. Love it. I always want to be in the US, and so I pursued that dream. Being a skater, you really wanted to see where skateboarding coming from. I got in the US at 2001. That was so crazy. Everything is different. You'll notice it right away. The minute I get off of the airplane and I step my foot outside, I realized that then I connected really well with the US. I felt what I was looking in Brazil. Quality life, quality of skating, and it's a new life too. And that moment, I figured it out. This is the place I want to be. And this is the place I want to, you know, get a family, get the life together. And I didn't know I speak any English back then. And I started working delivering pizza. I did that for probably 4 to 5 years. I was working for 5 to 6 days a week. Because back then, you know, I was single. I had to help my mom in Brazil too. Also, I had a younger kid in Brazil. So I'm like, man, I gotta keep going. 2005, I moved to San Diego. I connected with the Bob Burnquist, and he's like, hey man, I needed somebody to help me out here on the property. That was when I started to really connect with the skateboarding. Met my wife 2005 to 2006, and then I moved to Claremont, and I was doing web design class, and my wife helped me out so much. She was like, you know, quit the delivery pizza thing, go to school, we'll figure it out. Skating at Claremont, that was enough. We had a really good crew going on down there, but my wife wants to live nearby her dad, which was in Ensenada, so we moved back to Carlsbad. So I started skating at the YMCA. And one beautiful day, I was skating there, and Mike, I was a team manager at the Y. I was listening to him talking to another guy. He was saying, hey, we're gonna cut this ramp in half, and I don't know what to do with the other half. We're probably gonna throw it away, so if you know anyone, let me know. So I'm right behind him. I said, Mike, I want it. So the next day he called me, was like, Mancha, do you want to meet with the boss? I'm like, sure. And by then I haven't talked to my wife yet. But back then we were looking for a house here and there. So I went home, and surprisingly, she's like, well, now then we are looking for a house, we should speed up the process. So we started to look for a house, and this house, it was the last house in Vista. I said, if I have a 40 by 50, I'll put this ramp in the backyard. I told her, I don't even want to look inside. Whatever you like, I like it. So, and then this is a perfect house. The backyard is my front yard for the kids. And here we are.
Oi! Beijão, Bianca! Sai depois.
You know, you build, they will come. Same thing I did with that obstacle over there. I built, and then they shred it. So this, I think, is something different. I think it's gonna be cool. With the rail, to put something different on Bert. Somewhere like this. And then we do tricks on it. Yeah, that's all I think we're gonna do for the B-Team Backyard Blast 3. Yep, 4 more days. A few more things to do, a lot more. Yeah, it's fun, man, it's fun. We'll see, we'll see. My brother and I, we were building during the week, just me and him. And then sometimes also we have a Cristiano and Bruno Passos coming over. And then the weekend we have a crew. But yeah, that lasts like 10 months. I could not get the sections of the ramp through the sides of my property. And Augie realizes then the neighbor had enough space to come through. I went to my neighbor and I say, hey, by the way, I'm putting a ramp and then I needed to come through your yards. The pieces are 10 feet wide and sometimes by, 10 feet tall. So he's like, well, I will let you do it with the one condition. I'm like, oh man, here we go. He's like, as long as you leave a gate to my son skate on your vert ramp, we're good. I'm like, all right, deal. We have to carry on all the way here, all the pieces, piece by piece. It was so tough, man. I'm telling you, that was one of the toughest time in probably my life. When we were building, we were thinking, dude, we need a name for the ramp. So Brian Fick right away is like, hey, B-Team. I'm like, B-Team? He's like, well, hockey has the A-Team in there. Why not B-Team? I was like, okay, I like that. So give me another reason to have a B team. And then Chris says like, well, brothers team. And then Bruno's like, Brazilian team. Joey Gretzer was here, bros team. I'm like, all right, we do a B team. I think it's anything that incorporates the B. So the ramp now is 40 feet wide, 13 foot tall. The whole idea of the backyard blast starts actually with my wife. One day we were talking and she's like, why don't you do an event, like a backyard vibe? Growing up in Brazil, I always had that backyard scene picture in my mind. I started thinking about it, I want to bring it back, that backyard scene vibe. And I realized, the best way to do, I think, is like a jam session. So basically it's 20-minute jam, women, masters, legends, and pros. At the end, we do a best trick, and the last Backyard Blast 3, we have a high-air contest too. And have people skate the way they want to skate, and have a good food, hang out, friends, have a good time. Like I always said, it's like I wanted people to be here because they want to skate, not because they have to. And that's what the vibe I wanted to bring in the Backyard Blast.
Let's teach them well, let's teach them wise. Make sure we teach them not to lie. Tell them all they'll need to know. Tell them now and let's not be slow. Teach them truth and advertising, cause they're seldom hand in hand. Right now they're selling presidents. Let's make them understand that the kids, they are the future, they are the future kids. They are the future, they are the future kids. They are the future, they are the future kids. They are the future, they are the future.
That's amazing, man. I mean, that's everything that I wanted to do in a backyard event is exactly what I was picturing back in the day. You know, have a vert ramp in the backyard definitely change your lifestyle. You start to get more involved with the skateboarding. Now I've been teaching, and I noticed it in the last 6 months, how many more and young kids are skating vert now. Being a part of this community and, you know, the way they access a vert ramp easily, I think that makes things much better for them. We will build a community, and that community makes the skateboard stronger. And from that community, we can show the rest of the world what a skateboard vert really is. I still can go a little bit farther. I want to have this, but bigger. I can introduce a skateboard vert even more to more people and make it even more accessible to other people. Not just in the US, but worldwide. It's more than happy, more than satisfied. I would say complete. I feel very complete when I see everybody together. I see David Duncan and Mike. I see everybody like a focus on one thing. When you had that many people together in power of one passion, that completes you.
Let's teach them well, let's teach them wise. Make sure we teach them not to lie. Tell them all they'll need to know. Tell them now and let's not be slow. Teach them truth and advertising, cause they're seldom hand in hand. Right now they're selling presidents. Let's make...
Thank you so much for everything, everybody, for support. I hope to see you guys next year.